on this birthday. I'll be 53.
All right, Dad. I need to talk to you about some of the things you've been telling Bobby.
Can I be a little cringe? Because I'm gonna be.
Triangle cheating scandal between Ice Spice, Central C, and another famous social media star whose name is Madeline. She dated Central C in the past, and sometime after the song had dropped, Ice Spice stated that they were strictly friends. This is when we get into the topic of gimmicks. The definition of the word is as follows: something that is not serious or of real value that is used to attract people's attention or interest temporarily, especially to make them buy something. A strategy we've seen a lot of rappers in the game use with the help of the corporations, i.e. the record labels, and it usually ends up in the artist becoming a has-been. The psychology behind why that happens,
so I can stand up really
more
quick.
Attached to the temporary
Still
high
see this
of
with you,
uncovering what the gimmick actually is, rather than getting emotionally
smoke some weed
invested in
really
the artist.
fast.
For Ice Spice, her brand has always been very superficial. One of the biggest reasons
if I
why
move
she
it up
even
here,
blew
you
up
can
in the
still
first
see me.
place was, you guessed it, due to credit privilege, a social phenomenon which acknowledges the societal advantage a person has by fitting into the beauty standards of their culture. Ice Spice.
Before we go, I'm gonna tell you a grim thing, and you're sitting here for it, and you're here for it. When people would tell me about pretty privilege affecting me, I'd sometimes make the joke with some of my friends who've had a very hard time about how you pay for your you can have your pretty privilege, but the whole world expects you to pay its tax in assault and a lack of consideration to your fucking well-being and body. That's what I joke about with my friends, that they're probably gonna do that and murder me at some point because people like looking at me at a point. That's how we responded to people remarking on pretty privilege. It's generally a discounting of the violence that comes onto you in society's hand.
That's gonna be hard to maintain for the long haul. The core of what Ice Spice sells is sexuality and promiscuity, something that she knows and all the people backing her up also know. This is not a secret when it comes to her. At every single moment possible, she's either seen twerking or sticking out her tongue in a salacious way, which does constantly feed into her brand. This is what keeps her popular, because as a female rapper in this generation, unless you're selling the idea of sex, it's gonna be hard for you to even get your foot in the door. Part of selling this brand-wise is connected to children, specifically little girls. If you pay close attention to the visual aspect of her brand, bright colors like pink speaks to that younger audience, something that's been an integral part of marketing her to that big demographic of young girls. On top of the visual aspect, we also have the personality aspect. Ice Spice appears as a very likable person. That was of course up until the recent story involving her friend Cleo Trappa, which we'll talk about in just a minute. An aspect a lot of people overlook. Coming across as being likable can get you where you want to go, whether it's attracting the right opportunities for your business, cultivating relationships of all kinds, or having certain unique experiences in life. It's one of the most effective ways to network with others. People like being surrounded by others who exude a sense of warmth and friendliness. This is directly correlated to persuasiveness, which is the quality of making people do what you want or believe in what you believe. On a personality level, Ice Spice does project an easygoing kind of vibe. Whether or not it's real, that's not the point, nor is it relevant. She's managed to convince millions of people all around the world that she is who she supposedly says she is. So on top of what we spoke on, she also has a very strong identity, which is one of the key factors to reaching a high level in any industry. It communicates a very strong message to anyone who's brought into your world, and Ice Spice has created a world for herself. However, considering all the
Do you like her primary color palette as a stream or green?
the leverage she's built up in the industry throughout her short time in it, it is inevitable to say that Ice Spice has been on a losing streak. Something that's not only affecting how the general public views her, but it's also going to affect the marketing budget the record label allocates to her career. Aside from that, her public persona has also been taking a very strong hit. Of course, I'm gonna talk about this story. I'm sure you might have heard the current viral situation she's found herself in. Ice Spice's former friend and rapper, Cleo Trappa, recently came out and exposed Ice Spice for being a mean person behind the scenes. This is the second person who's been close to Ice Spice that's came out exposing her in the recent months. In one of the stories
I hope this person explains mean, or else we're gonna have to go to TikTok really fast. I hope you understand.
told, Cleo Trappa talked about the mistreatment she faced from Ice Spice on tour.
I want my things to come out. Like, she didn't really try to, like, mesh me in with her actual fan base or try to, like, put her fan base onto me.
Ice Spice ended up responding to her friend by calling her a vacuum.
Okay, so if we thought about this, otherwise, just at the moment, just knowing that we're admittedly halting it early, before we have all the information we'd like, at this moment, if a motherfucker rolls up in your shit and starts trying to boast about their shit, that's not always helpful, right? We know that. We hang out with other people who stream. We occasionally stream. I'm fixing my fucking microphone. We occasionally stream. We hang out with people who stream. We know that unless there's a safe space or a reason to or a standard of it, like promotion up in someone else's bullshit isn't always helpful at the time of performance. However, you still have time in other places and other venues, even if you're trying to keep that safe. Like, it's up to the person, the artist themselves, to set that boundary. Do I care? Very fucking little. Does this person care? Possibly. Do some people we love care? Yes. Right? So that part I can kind of get a little bit here. I'll fix the fan, it just turned on. Hold on.
Because she ate so much food at an Italian restaurant they went to during tour.
You not gonna tell the people
Here,
how
you
we
can
was
hear it
at
till
an
I fix
Italian
it.
restaurant and you ate so much fucking food, you fucking vacuum, that the server was like, where did the food go?
In other
People
words,
have said that
Ice
to me
Spice
before.
was a
It's very
big,
hurtful.
fat meanie. According to Cleotrapa, she was a fake friend, and she treated her like a second-class citizen, from having her carry her own bag.
Okay, so again, that's why we split it there. The act of saying don't promote on my shit, that's a thing other creators we love do. That makes sense, we understand it. The carry my bag thing, totally different. Let me turn this goddamn fan off. That's fucked up. Here, have this while I do it. Alright, hold up, wait a minute, we're busy. I need you to be patient with me.
To not being allotted a separate dressing space while they were touring. The Ice Spice team saying that there wasn't a budget in place when her friend asked them to buy her some food, a chicken salad. Cleotrapa after this was convinced that Ice didn't like her, and as a matter of fact, she hated her friend. After the embarrassment she faced behind the scenes, she decided to uncover the real side of Ice Spice. Now, this is definitely connected to the fall off or loss of relevancy
your
of
hair
Ice Spice, if
massager.
you will, because just a few months ago, one of her
Okay, I want a scalp massager, something fierce. Like, I don't even say this as a quick joke or anything. I want one of those goddamn hair massager thingies. They look amazing. Hold on. What? Okay, cool. I was checking something. It was irritating me.
former friends, another one of her former friends actually came out with a similar type of story. Her name is Baby Stormy, and personally, I don't know if I would consider her as very credible due to the nature of that particular expose. However, that aside, her reputation has definitely taken a hit. And this is related to something I spoke about, just a minute ago, which is a public persona. Because part of the...
If you're mean to your friends, you'll just not have any friends. If you have a public persona where you are pantomiming about... Okay, make it make sense. I don't give a fuck about nearly enough. What the fuck does this person's vibe give? Hold on.
The reason why
Oh,
Ice
we're
Spice
going deep
managed
today,
to be
hold
so
on.
successful is due to how she's appeared to the world. A young, beautiful, but very sweet woman, well-mannered, aside from when she's, shaking her ass, which is like never. Ice Spice has benefited from what we call the halo effect, a cognitive bias where the overall impression of a person influences how other people feel and think about a person's specific traits. So for Ice Spice, she has the, the visual package, which
Let me
is,
find this.
the assets, i.e. very nice body and good facial features and a nice smile. She simply looks better than 99% of the women on Earth, based on societal standards, of course. Because beauty is highly subjective, and depending on what culture you're in, your level of attractiveness will vary. Now, this is what they call the halo effect. It's considered the physical
1 year
attractiveness
ago.
stereotype in
Thank
which
you,
what
old
looks
Reddit.
beautiful is seen as good. I mean, there's even studies on this. Attractive people in society are perceived to be smarter, funnier, and more likable than less attractive people. From personal experience, I can tell you that some of the most demonic people I've met have been some of the most good-looking people on the
Okay,
outside.
this
I'm
part
sure you
makes
can relate
sense.
to that. Ice Spice falls under
Like,
this category perfectly, and that's why this recent story
as a
involving
New
her
York
friend
drill
coming out like
fan,
this is just so
that part
damaging
sounds
to her
cool.
career.
At this
To
point,
be fair, her looking good is one
here.
of the only things that
I got you,
propelled her
cousin,
to
hold
this
up.
level. Let's just keep it real, right? This is like the nail in the coffin
Love
effect,
y'all.
where one needle is moving the mountain
No,
in a
I
whole
like
nother
drill.
direction.
Like,
All those good
honest.
qualities people automatically projected
You don't
onto
get
her
me
are slowly
through a lot of
dissipating in the
time,
minds of the
but
public.
some of that
Ice Spice's
time,
entire image was built
ye-
on not only sexuality, but being a what they call, or what women call, a girl's girl. Now, what exactly is that to all the men who don't know what the hell that is? Because I just found out what it is. This is a term that's used to describe a woman who celebrates her fellow women, doesn't let jealousy get in the way of doing so, and she's honest and encouraging to her fellow women as well. Ice Spice has now lost that entire aspect of her brand due to this controversy. Also, Ice Spice just doesn't have the same type of freshness to her name anymore. People feel like they've experienced all that they can from her. Her music has clearly taken a back seat as far as the conversations in relation to her name,
Maybe
especially
you came
with this
to that a
particular
little
story
early.
right here. And also, to be fair, she hasn't done herself a favor by putting sex at the forefront 24/7. Unfortunately, you know, the majority of female rappers do that, but the ones that end up sticking are the talented ones, okay? The ones who show the world that they have more to offer than just their body. I'm talking about Snow the Product, I'm talking about Bia, I'm talking about Doechii, I'm talking about Flo Milli. These are women who put their creativity at the forefront of
What
everything
are we looking at?
they do.
Here.
Now, as for Ice Spice,
Come here.
her body is more popular than her music. And it's always been like that, whether it's the millions of young girls following her because they want to be like her, or whether it's the thirsty,
Older
basement-dwelling
posts.
teenage boys who get
Even
turned on
older
when they see her
posts.
fat ass. Her name is fueled by her willingness to lean on sex, and once the shape she got introduced to the game with
I like
starts
even
to
older
change,
posts.
since she lost a bunch of weight, and people have accused her of using Ozempic for her weight loss journey. Now that she's looking so different, what are they actually supporting? I mean, people were already not attached to her music, and leaning too much on your looks, whether you're a man or a woman in any facet of life, is something that's very fleeting. As human beings, we can't run away from the inevitable process of aging, and that's why you gotta make sure people fall in love with who you are on an intrinsic level and not what you are. Leaning on the physical stuff gots to go, okay? Finito. Unfortunately for Ice Spice, since a big part of her popularity was fed by her good looks, that is her gimmick, and she has to maintain it, or else she'll fade away. To each in his own, but one thing's for sure, people have lost interest in Ice Spice. Do I think she's fallen off? Well, she's clearly not as hot as she used to be. She's of course very young and has built an extremely lucrative brand for herself, so even if the music doesn't pan out the way she wants it to, I'm sure she'll be able to monetize her name by working with big brands and cashing in on the sponsorship money. And this is an aspect of the music industry people seem to miss, okay? And this is very relevant to Ice Spice. A lot of these so-called artists that are popping up now are nothing but glorified social media influencers who happen to know how to sing into a microphone or rap into a microphone. The goal for the music industry wasn't for Ice Spice's career to have longevity. The goal was to build her brand up to a level where it's lucrative enough.
It's the
And in
vibe.
that situation, she won't be dependent on her album selling for her existence to make sense.
Hold on, honey.
But that's why Ice Spice
No,
is losing
you
relevance.
made this too interesting. Thank you. Sorry, you don't go doing that. No, I'm fucking sorry. Like, at no point you've hit upon this. You've done like the objectification, the colorism. Alright, cool. Person here, prolific. They actually got every point. It's the colorism and the objectification. Score. Perfect. Thank you, Reddit. I love you. Alright, sick. Do you want this for a second? Hold this. I'm still getting more tabs for us. Give me a sec. I'm trying to find this like nice discourse. I want to make it make sense. Make it make sense. Don't say vague shit to me. Don't make it not make sense. 4 months ago? That's pretty recent. All right, let's check a recent discourse and let's find a slightly older discourse as well while we're at it. Hold on. No, hold on. Damn it, I hate you right now, but I love you at the same goddamn time. You can take your humor and go eat my fucking asshole left and right across a fucking Rubik's Cube. Oh my gosh, no shit you deleted your account, you motherfucker. No shit you fucking did. Cliff Spice. Here, I'm sure at least one of you uses Reddit. Here's our recent-ish discourse. We're 4 months ago, 2 years ago. Okay, cool. They're in order. We're getting in a mood to do what we're doing. It's a vibe, okay? Chill. Actually, no, we keep you. Hold on. Nope.
I'm
Here
sure
again.
she still has a couple solid years in the mainstream world of music left. However, the numbers prove that she's on a downward trajectory.
Okay.
Anyway, you made it
Hi.
this far.
I don't know if you know this about me. I used to fucking like every so often I'd hit up the music forums. Like when I was a kiddo, I'd go like blogspot hopping and like music forum hopping and like I'd go read the fucking like oddball music publications for like, you know, there'd be motherfuckers just doing their shit and like you'd know motherfuckers out of like Cali, Atlanta, New York, etc. that just like talked about fucking music. And like I do that with like West Cali, LA, Hot Atlanta, and NY all the time. I just like read the fucking music boards because like that shit, fucking ska, Evo, fucking metal, like I love doing this. This is my jam. Like this is fun to the max. I don't know if you know this about me. God damn it. I don't know if you know this about me. But I used to like reading the music forums when I was a whippersnapper. I could sit around and do that for ages. I ended up finding really cool artists that way. Like, hold on. I'm gonna show you something really weird, rather. Is that okay? I'm gonna show you a very weird thing. You can hate me later. But like, this is a thingy, a thing dinger, a bop and a boop. A bip and a bop? It's a thingamadah. We can't get through the end of a video. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna show you a thing dinger. I found this when I was a youth by trolling the forums, and we could get into a long little gab about like data privacy and stuff like that, but I don't care. I found this as a kid doing that, and I was happy. At the time in my youth, I had learned about people who were getting music before it was formally released. And so what I mean to say is I was just beginning to learn about the folks that would like rip music either by any means from the publisher before it had actually dropped and would upload it. So I'd just become aware of this. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I want to learn what they do. Okay, that's nifty. And so that didn't manifest in me doing that. What it did do is like double me down into just a deep fucking passion of reading music, like artist discourse. Like when you're in a mood, you're in a mood, you know? It's like when you go and read the fucking Elder Scrolls forums. I don't know if you know this, but that's also a fun thing to do. Okay, cool. Hi. It's fun to me, just finding stuff. I like doing it. It's super cool. I like it. It's my happy time. And I will eat your world.
I didn't go right for the weed. I went to the shower first, then I went to eat. Then I came home, sat down, fully clothed. Found this alchemist beat. Damn, the shit goes. I must be happy today. I must have chased the dark clouds away. I must have done something good that no one else saw, like help that lady cross the street. Bags about 9 selfish acts of love, not to get anything back, just to do it because. No, I'm happy today. Got no ulterior motives. I scratch my 22s, but fuck it, I'ma keep rolling. Can't shit get me down, no sir, no sir. The world is mine, but I share. Okay, it's also yours. The tour is mine, but I share. Okay, it's also yours. The girl is mine, but I share. Okay, it's also yours. My life makes me, my music makes me. I must have
It's weird there was a butt there. I forgot about the butt there. Can we like metaphorically neuter the copyright people?
I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my point being, like, I used to read music forums a lot, and that's like one of the things that I found on music forums. I actually have never heard it before because I found it scouring music forums, and I was around for the period of time when it was like discovered that you could find this before release and listen to it before release, and that was pretty chill. And so I just like never saw the video, and that's really not, that's a disservice to me. That was fun. I will give you the video. Do. Hi, that was really fun. Sorry, I will even give you the title of it in it because it's like a totally different thing in Tire Balls and probably acts as an isolation. Yeah, it's like 16 years old. This song is almost as old as one of my friendships. I think I do have an older friendship than that, but we're doing different shit right now, and that's okay. You have life and seasons. Shit's fine. I'm a goofball. Some people like golf courses, some people like fisting, some people like nay-naying, some people like drinking fucking champagne, some people like eating ass, and some people like reading music forums.